What is up, Domain community? We are here in the studio tonight, and we are not going to be doing a mock draft tonight. Actually, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be grading some Dynasty teams for our Domain S-tier members. Now, if you want your team graded after this, don't. Just wait. Wait a week, and we will give you new instructions on how to get your Dynasty team graded.
New instructions.
But tonight, for those of you who are Domain S-tier members, and for those of you watching as well, we really appreciate you joining us. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're also subscribed here and at Fantasy Domain. It's just linked in the description as well. Tonight, like I said, we're going to be ranking, or not, we're not going to be ranking. We're going to be grading. There we go. Our supporters Dynasty teams. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stick around. We're going to go through in-depth on roster builds. We're going to go through different types of positions and grading these teams. I completely lost my train of thought.
And guys who play football.
And people who play fantasy. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there.
And
so
fantastic.
yeah,
football.
do us a favor. Unless you drink from a sippy cup, make sure you like the live stream as well. We are super glad you guys have joined us tonight, and we are going to see who drops in the chat. Make sure you leave a comment, tell us hello. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll give you a shout out.
Does this count as a sippy cup?
No, that's a body armor.
Oh.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
Body
yeah.
armors are fair.
No, body armor is great. I'm just saying, are you drinking from a sippy cup?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
This is the bottle it comes in.
All right.
Nathan.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's switch over here. I'm going to get our comments working real quick right before we get started. Let us know in the comments if you got anything you'd like us to chat about tonight. We'll be on a little bit longer after we grade these teams. But we are going to get started here. Keps says it's Liddy. It's Liddy indeed. We are going to do your Dynasty team tonight, Keps.
He also loves his sippy cup.
I guess
To be honest.
I'll put that up on the screen because I want him to be embarrassed. Caps loves his sippy cup. Toronto Dave, what is up, my man? All right, like I said,
Toronto Dave from Portland.
yes.
Nice.
All right, like I said, starting with Luca Looney's team. Luca Looney, really appreciate you being a supporter. Really appreciate you being a part of the community. If you're not watching now, we'll obviously send you this link. But we are going to grade your Dynasty team here tonight. Looking first at your QBs in this Dynasty team. You've got Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. And I'm going to assume, I think I heard from this was a Superflex Titan Premium 12 team. So Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, obviously at quarterback, can't really do much better than that. So when you're looking at your quarterback depth, you've got a couple guys there. I would say one thing that I would maybe recommend is getting a little bit more reliable of the QB3 there. But you guys feel free to chime in where you agree or disagree with that. But
Honestly, I think Gardner Minshew is someone who's good with Anthony Richardson not necessarily being the starter this year in Indianapolis. And Jacoby Brissett as well. We don't know how things are going to work out with Sam Howell. So for a team with only 2 real starting QBs, you're still looking pretty good there. You have a decent chance of one of those guys. And Colt McCoy this year, I guess, with Kyler out.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of holding all those guys that you have right now. You don't have a bunch of long-term security with them, but you can take a shot in future rookie drafts. You can do whatever you need to. But, I mean, for now, with Gardner Minshew especially and the type of quarterback that Anthony Richardson is, there's always a chance that the high rushing upside quarterbacks get injured, and someone needs to pay you a second to get Gardner Minshew to kind of ride out the season if they're, competing, or if you have the edge and you don't really need Minshew yourself. So,
yeah.
And then Colt McCoy, there's a chance he starts this season too. So
Colt McCoy,
Yeah.
my guy, Colt McCoy. Yeah, good looking so far.
Running
You
back
want
room's
to do the running
interesting.
backs?
I kind of like
Yeah.
the mix up here.
No, I do too. Starting off the bat, you got Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, we are noted fans of Jahmyr Gibbs. We have him high up in our Dynasty rankings. We think with the top 12 draft capital and running behind a great offensive line in Detroit, that's a great pick. You're looking at good production and good long-term value. Starting with the other young guys there, we also have Kendre Miller. Fantasy Flock came out with a video today actually going into detail about Alvin Kamara's looming suspension. So that's putting Kendre in a good place to produce this year. He could be a decent win-now asset, and obviously being a rookie in the league, he has 4 more years with the Saints. We'll see how that plays out with Kamara, Jamal Williams there. We have Elijah Mitchell, a very good handcuff to a Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, he's flashed his rookie year, and he was good last year even. Zonovan Knight, kind of the same sort of deal. He's kind of been buried, though, with Izzy Abanikanda being drafted there, Breece Hall, Michael Carter is there as well. But he's a decent talent, obviously. He showed some good flashes last year. Then we have Aaron Jones, someone we love for a contending team this year. Jordan Love, probably not going to be a great quarterback, and Aaron Jones is going to be his best friend. And then we have at the bottom Chase Edmonds and Keaton Mitchell, and I don't have much to say about them. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dynasty Land is in the house. What is up, Dynasty Land?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the crew. Thanks.
How
we
we
haven't
doing, boys?
told everybody yet, so keep it under wraps a little bit. But yeah, we're super excited, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for popping in. Really appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribed over at Dynasty Land, make sure you do that as well. They have great content over there, great in-depth analysis. So make sure you're subscribed on their channel. Great channel in the Dynasty landscape. Looking at the wide receivers, Nathan, you want to do that?
Yeah. So I actually think this is the most intriguing part of the roster where you could really go a couple
That's
routes
great.
here. It's a good wide receiver core from a value perspective. What I'm seeing here is you have a ton of you have a competing roster. You really do with the elite tight end, with some high producing running back assets, premier quarterback assets, and then the wide receiver position being great from a value perspective. Again, look, we're not huge fans of Brandon Ayuk. We're not huge fans of Rashad Bateman, but I think the situation is going to be a little bit different for both of those guys. I personally would recommend that you hold on to Rashad Bateman because he's not quite valuable enough where you're able to ship him off for anything that's really going to help you compete this year, other than having Rashad Bateman, who I think could actually impress and do something this season with Lamar Jackson. Brandon Ayuk, I would be looking to sell him. So
He's a top 5 wide receiver, though, Nathan.
No, he's a wide receiver too on his own team, and a QB situation that's in limbo. Stop playing devil's advocate; it's so annoying. But tell me, from in ADP, where's Brandon Ayuk going? I'm trying to find him here. He's going right by Marquise Brown, DeAndre Swift, Geno Smith, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. Honestly, pretty much all those guys I'm taking over Brandon Ayuk if you're looking for a 1-for-1 trade. I know Avery's not a fan of 1-for-1s, but I'd be fine if you can get a 1-for-1 with those guys.
Unless it's like unless you're getting clear value in. Like I like 1-for-1s.
If both people
If I'm
think
getting
they're getting
Patrick
the better end of
Mahomes
the deal,
for
then
Zay
you're
Flowers, then
Yeah.
I can do that.
And here's what I would do. Patience is key. So you've got about a month until some of these guys' values fluctuate, and a lot of them are going to be the unproven assets that get training camp hype. We're big fans of Treylon Burks. We're really excited about what he can do this season, but there is only so much he can do from a fantasy perspective to help you get over the top, get to the point where you're really going to be dominating your league, winning your dynasty league. I would toy with the idea, and I would send out some flyers come August to see what you can get in return for Treylon Burks. If you can, we've talked about this in a video before, but where you down tier and get more points by down tiering, where you can get some more draft capital on top of selling Treylon Burks and getting, a guy that's maybe older, 27, who's considered a win now asset but has plenty of years left, plenty of time in the tank. That's something I would look into. Like some of the guys I'm thinking about are, what are you whispering about? Stop whispering.
I tried. It wouldn't let me. We're talking about the shot. You idiot.
So
Gosh.
Treylon Burks going around, George Kittle, going around Chris Godwin, going around, I'm not even
He said heck.
I'm not even a Calvin Ridley fan, but if you can get
Lan.
Calvin Ridley plus in August, like I would consider that. That's just food for thought. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. All right. And looking at the tight end room, you've got Dallas Goedert, solid, and then Hayden Hurst, a solid backup as well. I think you're looking good at tight ends. You've got one of the 6 elite tight ends, so obviously we'd recommend that. So I think you're sitting pretty there. If you can get Mark Andrews super cheap on top, you're always looking at that trade. But again, Dallas Goedert's going to be good for you.
Yeah, I will say with Dallas Goedert, if you could sell Dallas Goedert plus another one of those tight ends and get George Kittle, that's a huge upgrade.
So I'm really impressed. Actually, this team has two firsts.
Yeah.
I like that. That's really good. And 2 seconds.
And you're still
And
in
all
a great
25s.
place. You're still in a great place to contend. Obviously, you're not in any sort of rush. If you don't win this year, really your only aging asset is Aaron Jones, and I don't know how his long-term outlook is. You're probably still good to go next year.
So
Yeah.
What would be our top moves and next steps for this team, would you guys say? I've got a couple, but
I would sell one of your unproven wide receivers
Yes.
for a proven running
Absolutely.
back plus, and I would at all costs try to hold on to your 24 firsts.
Yep, do not
If
sell
you end
those.
up competing in your league and even winning your league and you keep those 24 firsts, you are golden for the next 2 to 3 seasons.
Yep.
It's rare to see.
I've been doing this a lot more in my leagues, and this is just going to be a suggestion, but if I had Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson, I'd actually be looking to down tier off of one of those guys and just completely stack my roster in other positions. That's just been my avenue of choice, considering the fact that you can get some really productive quarterbacks later in these drafts. For example, down tiering from Daniel Jones is a big down tier from one of these guys. But
Even Geno
Smith is a perfect candidate for that. But then you can also add, a really productive receiver or bolster your running back room as well. I think adding some running back depth would be something that I would do here, in addition to getting a QB3, which you could also probably do in a big trade like that. So that's an idea. That's not something you have to do. I just find that having my flex positions as productive as they can be will typically benefit me, since there's more than one of those, more than having a Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson instead of a Geno Smith or Daniel Jones type, if that makes sense. So overall, really, really nice team. Obviously, you can see the starting lineup there. Looking really good. So again, we really appreciate you supporting Luke Looney. We love having you on the live streams. We appreciate you being in here. And let us know if you have any other questions of this team. Obviously, we want to give you the best team review possible, so let us know. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to get zoomed in here. Probably going to get zoomed in. Yep. Okay, we're going to go up to the top. We're going to do this entire roster top to bottom, and we are going to start with Jalen Hurts or Bijan Robinson. Jeez, this thing's touchy. There we go. Okay. Jalen Hurts first, and at his second quarterback position, he's got Jimmy Garoppolo. He's also got Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett.
Man.
Mac Jones and Sam Howell.
Bryce Young. Woo, dude. Blind.
It just kept going.
First of all, Blind.
Okay.
Thanks for supporting, man. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you being a part of the community. Holy smokes. Where did you get all these QBs? I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5,
half.
6, at least 6 starting QBs.
Jacoby Brissett counts
So
as a half.
So obviously, from a QB depth
Well,
standpoint.
he has Brissett and Howell.
Yeah, and Bryce Young. I mean, yeah, I love your QBs. Obviously, you're going to be looking to move some of those, but let's look at your other positions, because I think good and well, Blind, that you're set at QB. He's got him, which is Bijan Robinson, a great first running back. Although we don't know how productive he's going to be in his rookie year. It's just going to depend on which way you want to take this team. David Montgomery is also here, somebody that will probably be at least somewhat productive in Detroit. So obviously the running backs support more of a longer term build, I think, which is good. I mean, you don't have any super old backs. You don't have anything like that. So looking at your bench in terms of running back depth, you've got Jerome Ford, Evan Hull. So these are guys, again, and
How's the taxi look?
Oh, let's check the taxi.
No one.
Nobody.
Sean Tucker.
That's probably the one. So, yeah.
Sorry.
That's right. So, running backs, it looks like this is supporting more of a longer term build. And Simon, I'll let you do the receivers here, but there's some freaking receivers on this team.
There's really
man.
nothing negative to say about this receiver core. You have Garrett Wilson, someone who will be productive
with a
next
lock
year.
on him. I like the lock. Do not sell that guy.
You have Devontae Smith, someone who will be productive next year. Treylon Burks, that's more of a question mark. And I'm just going to kind of repeat the same thing Nathan said in the last team with Luke Looney. Treylon Burks, not AJB. Treylon Burks is someone we really liked coming out of college. He showed flashes. Yeah, we still do. Obviously, he showed flashes last year, really, before getting hurt a couple times. But with Ryan Tannehill there, with Will Levis in the future, we don't know how he'll turn out. We don't know if Treylon Burks is going to be someone who can support a contending roster in the way you need him to, in the way some of the guys you can down tier to can. He's not someone we're looking to sell, but let's say you hit week 6 or 7 and you need a little bit of a boost. He's someone you could look to sell, or even, if you want to capitalize on his training camp hype that he will get, you could do that. JSN, someone we view as a top 12 Dynasty wide receiver. He's going to be great in Seattle. Jahan Dotson. I like this one a lot. You have Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett at your quarterback, so you're kind of getting a little bit of a stack there if you end up starting one of them. He was productive as a rookie. He was good. He's stuck behind Terry McLaurin for the foreseeable future, but he's very good. Can we go ahead and scroll down?
Sorry.
Jahan Dotson, we don't know how well he will produce next year. I believe he's going as wide receiver
Some good,
40,
some decent
30,
young depth
37 or something on Underdog.
Marvin Mims.
Tim Patrick, someone who probably looking at a wide receiver 2 type role in Denver. Khalil Shakir. I mean, who else do the Bills have as their wide receiver 3? And he obviously athletic, showed flashes last year. And Alec Pierce is someone we actually like. He's a good downfield threat in the NFL. And Shane Steichen's offense, pair him with Anthony Richardson and his ability to throw the deep ball. I think he's someone you're looking at growing in value for sure this year. You can say the same thing about Rashid Shaheed. Had a well-developed route tree as a undrafted rookie last year.
Yeah.
Not much else to say about him, though. And Marvin Mims, obviously, second-round wide receiver, going to be in Denver as well, and we'll see how he plays out in Sean Payton's offense. We hope he can be utilized well. So
Nathan,
we're excited about
the
that.
tight end room, which is highlighted by Mandrew.
Mark Andrews, that's really about it. You don't even have to recognize Mike Gesicki or Jake Ferguson. They're irrelevant.
Although I like Mike Gesicki as a backup.
Andrews.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's
Jake Ferguson's
fine.
probably starting tight end for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but again, it's Mark Andrews. Like that is what matters most. What matters most is that you have an elite tight end, and it doesn't matter how old Mark Andrews is, as long as he's not 33 years old like Travis Kelce, you should be riding with him for a significant amount of time. There's no need to be moving off this guy. I'm glad you have him as what looks to be a rebuild going into the 2023 season. Now, I would say that you have a lot of good cornerstone assets here. A ton. And it's pretty clear that you had a ton of 2023 rookie picks.
I wouldn't say this is a rebuild, though. He doesn't have his own 24
No,
first.
I'm saying going into 2023, he was a rebuild. Like,
yeah, great point. My bad.
He has
That's my
Bijan
fault.
Robinson. He was probably last place last year.
Yeah.
And you rebuilt very well. You got a ton of awesome picks. Now, what I would do is we love rookies. We love rookie wide receivers, how they insulate their value. I would capitalize on the value you have now and try not to invest or have every single one of these rookies on your roster come the end of this coming season. Okay, if you can move one of these lower guys, I mean, I'm thinking Marvin Mims. I'm thinking even Treylon Burks, even though he's not a rookie, he's still an unproven guy. Actually, I'm fine with you keeping Jahan Dotson. You could choose to move him instead of Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is just more valuable, and they're both pretty much equally as unproven. Actually, Jahan Dotson's more proven than Treylon Burks is. And with that, I think you can move off those guys, get some guys that score more points and are just a couple years older and significantly less valuable. This doesn't mean you have to be win now. You've got plenty of cornerstone assets to afford to have some older guys.
Yeah.
And definitely at the quarterback position, I would be looking to move Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And
That's honestly probably the first guy I would look to be moving because of your QB depth. Like, you have Jalen Hurts. And yeah, you can plug in Jimmy G. Yeah, you can plug in Sam Howell. Yeah, you can plug in whoever else you have there, but you can get a ton of value if you move off Bryce
And I
Young.
will say, when you have Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Mark Andrews all on the same team, you're going to be contending pretty much every year for the foreseeable future. Really, I mean, with that much insulated contending value, I mean, production at a young age, you're in a great place with this roster, and you've done a great job.
Yeah, a ton of great opportunity here because when you set yourself up for a really good rebuild, right? You have a ton of value. You succeeded at getting the value that you needed to get to the level that you want to get to, which is win a championship. Because that's ultimately what you want to do. The temptation is always going to be, hey, I have so many good cornerstone assets and so many good rookies right now that I'm just going to wait one more year until I'm absolutely loaded and I'm going to win the next 2 or 3 seasons after that. I would say be cautious there, and your time may be now because you have enough value to win now and not enough proven assets on your team to guarantee that you're going to be dominant in a year or two if you're just holding out hope for all your 23 picks to pan out like you think they will. So
yeah, absolutely. Also worth mentioning here, on the taxi squad, not really anything of note. No 24 first, he has 224 seconds. So, obviously we recommend now, but this is hindsight 2020, not trading away your 24 first. That being said, you have so many good pieces on these teams. Like, I think you're going to be able to make plenty of moves to put yourself in a good position. You guys did a really good job breaking that down. So, again, Blind, if you have any questions about this team, about any moves you should be making, about any trades, please, as always, on our Discord, in our YouTube comments, let us know. We are happy to answer all your questions. We really appreciate you being a supporter of the domain. We cannot do it without guys like you, and you are fun to have around. We love having you. So
I'm excited for this next one.
I am too, because last but very certainly, that's his bench. He submitted this again. he sent it to me again after he sent it to me the first time. But it's going to be Keps. Everybody knows Keps. He's probably going to be in the chat here in a second, calling us.
Let's hear it,
what
Keps.
are all these
like
loaded
that.
rosters for?
Yeah, I know. Well, why would you want to get a
Cam Akers cut him.
If you watch,
Just cut him.
if you're watching our channel, you definitely have a loaded roster.
That's
how
true.
do you end up without one?
Simon, that is such good marketing right now. Good job, buddy. All right, we're going to grade Caps' Dynasty team. Caps, obviously, we love having you around, man. We really appreciate you being a part of the community. We love seeing you on every single live stream. I don't know if you've ever missed one. It's
I don't think he has.
really, really been a pleasure having you around. And obviously, he's been patiently waiting for this one, boys. I know you have. Thanks for being patient. You're gonna understand here in like 2 days why it's been a struggle to get these done. But
Struggle bus.
yeah, it has been a struggly bus. But we're
Don't
gonna
look at the Dynasty Land comment.
no, definitely don't.
No.
All right, we are going to look at this dynasty team now. Okay, I'll start quarterbacks. Looking at Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson in your starting spots. Again, amazing job. It's almost like they listen to us. Like that's
Yeah.
insane. And looking down at your bench as well for this team, you've also got Russell Wilson. I mean, your quarterbacks get an A+ from us, man. This is a really good start. Locking down the most not only scarce, but the most important position in Superflex Dynasty League. So you've got it locked down with 3 elite options there. Really, really liking that build. All right. And you said even better that this is in the DD2 league. Yeah, buddy. All right, here we go. Looking back up at his starting lineup, Simon, I'll let you take the running backs here.
Oh, I have no criticism. I have one criticism for this running back room,
Too
but
many
we'll
points?
get to it.
This team is stacked.
This is an
Hey,
incredible.
You know whose team this was?
No way.
Yep. Yeah.
That's funny.
So you got Jonathan Taylor,
Did a
a
lot.
top dynasty running back, and also someone we absolutely think will contend and help you produce this next year with Anthony Richardson. I don't know if you've heard of him as a quarterback. They're going to be a nightmare to defend. Nick Chubb, probably the best running back in the NFL. We saw how dominant he was last year, and really up until Deshaun Watson came in back into the league
Chick
last year, he
Nub.
was a running back one almost every single week. As Nathan says, yes, Chick Nub. We also got Brees Hall, another top dynasty running back, and we saw how dominant he was. Also getting an upgrade at quarterback, because really anyone's an upgrade over Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter himself. But
Jeez. Dude.
Brees Hall, though, great running back room. And
Hide
then we got
behind the
Cam
microphone.
Akers, someone we're not high on in dynasty.
You're going to get suspended for that one.
We're not high on Cam Akers in Dynasty, but really there's no one else on the Rams offense next year to
was
get the
amazing.
carries. So another good pick, especially to produce next year. And can we see the bench? Let's see if he has any other running
I'm
backs.
just a little phased, but
Yeah.
we're good.
Khalil Herbert's really another guy. We thought for a while he might be a
Part of his
sell.
bench. Jeez. Okay, sorry.
Ooh.
There's more of his bench, but
We thought for a while Khalil Herbert might be a sell, but really I'm not seeing him going for anything. So you might as well hold on to him. Him and Roshan Johnson are going
Unless
to
there's a
be
Bears fan in your league.
are going to be a committee. Are going to be a committee backfield for the most part next year. And you got Chuba, Pierre Strong, Bam Knight. Bam Knight's a good backup to Brees Hall. So
Bam.
there you go.
Bam,
It's an incredible running back team. Honestly, there's probably no one else in your league that's even close to that. So.
yeah,
Good job.
absolutely. Nathan, you've got wide receivers, buddy.
Oh, y'all got 2 of my favorite wide receivers here. Deebo Samuel and Michael Pittman. I really like their value right now. Then you got Terry McLaurin. And show me the
Scary.
bench. Show me the bench. Show me the bench.
I'm showing you the bench.
That's a good starting
oh,
lineup
yeah,
there.
So there's this really deep bench.
Clearly, we're prioritizing
So it
running
starts at
back,
Juju.
and then you get really good values in Deebo Samuel and Michael Pittman, and even Traylon or Terry McLaurin. I'm not against his value right now. I think people are starting to understand really what he is as a career high-end wide receiver 2 at best. And if you've got him as your wide receiver 3 on your starting lineup, I'm fine with that. So at the wide receiver position on your bench, you've got Juju, Alan Lazard, and Darius Slayton.
Oh, just wait. He has show him the rest of the
show me
bench.
some more here. Show me some more here, Avery.
I believe he has George Pickens and Gabe Davis as well.
That is nice. It's really, really nice. Okay, so yeah. George Pickens is a guy that we have been notoriously not fans of, but his value is pretty respectable right now. And you can't really deny the fact that he had 800 plus receiving yards last year. And no, we aren't really big believers in him long term, but he's got enough value right now and enough room to increase in value going into the season that it's safe to hold on to him right now until someone gets high on him during training camp, because I guarantee you it'll happen when those highlights come out.
You got some flashy plays. You got to give it to
Yeah,
him.
got some flashy plays, but as a route runner, as Simon would say, he's not much better than Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
With Gabe Davis, hold on to Gabe Davis. I'm not moving Gabe Davis for anything of substance, because he's not going for much really anything of
Kind
substance.
of the same deal with Khalil
He's
Herbert.
very invaluable for what he is, and that's an inconsistent asset. But if you have to plug him in 1 week, or you really got to make a run in the playoffs, and you just have a flyer on your last flex spot, throw him in, boom, he could put up 40 points. Easy. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with your wide receiver room. If anything, maybe I'm looking to increase my ceiling by moving off Michael Pittman, who has a bit more longevity than guys like Chris Godwin, or even guys going after him that are a little bit older, Amari Cooper. But that's about it that I have for wide receivers. I'm a big fan of that core.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the tight end now, you've got Evan Ingram, and then on your bench, you've got Daniel Bellinger and Dawson Knox. Look, this tight end room is absolutely going to be sufficient for somebody who's contending this year. When you've got Evan Ingram, who's tied to Trevor Lawrence, you saw what he did last year breaking out. I think that's a solid guy to be starting with, especially as deep as your team is at other positions. Like sometimes, if you're not going to get one of those top tight ends, don't draft a mid-round tight end. And honestly, Evan Ingram's not. Evan Ingram's still going 9th, 10th, 11th round and you saw what he did last year from a production standpoint. I think Evan Ingram's a fine guy to start here. Obviously, if you're ever making trades around any of these cornerstone assets that you have and you're moving off of them, you would want to be targeting maybe even a Mark Andrews, a TJ Hawkinson would be really good on this
That's
team.
exactly what I would do. Evan Ingram and Cam Akers for Dallas Goedert.
Even that one.
Do it.
That's a good one. And like I said, on your bench, you've got some depth here with Dawson Knox and Daniel Bellinger. Neither of those guys have that tight end room locked down. So you might want to consider having a starting tight end like Gerald Everett locked down at the very least, or even acquiring another tight end and using Evan Ingram as your backup tight end.
Hayden Hurst is chill.
Yeah, absolutely. And then looking down at your taxi squad here, you've got Jaden Reed.
Nice.
We love him.
Good.
We love him.
Hold on to him.
We all are like,
Don't
nice,
trade him.
Nice, Jaden Reed. You don't have your 24 first, but it's because the guy that built this team traded all of his picks away last year. So he doesn't. But again, you built this team all by yourself, and you were the architect behind this team, and so we're really proud of you for that. This is a great team, Keps.
Oh, I do want to point out you have Brenton Strange there, and someone we weren't notably high on coming out of Penn State, but he did have sufficient receiving upside there, and you have backed up Evan Ingram well with that pick. So
yeah,
that's notable.
And he also sent in some trades, and he is a great supporter. So I want to do this. He got Khalil Herbert in a second for Dalvin Cook.
Nice.
That's a solid value
that's
trade.
a good pick. Yeah,
I'm in this
Good.
league too. So maybe you're gonna start beating me in this league now. He got Gabe Davis for David
Again, I like it.
Jeez,
I like it.
love that trade.
You
like
obviously did not need David Montgomery there, having that incredible running back room. So
Yeah.
that's great.
So
pickup.
wow, way to turn Jahan Dotson straight up into Michael Pittman. That's amazing. Love that trade. Love that trade.
I like that a lot.
What if I read through all these and he was getting the other side of the trade? He got Lamar, Ayuk, Jonathan Taylor, and Dotson for Josh Allen, Deontay Johnson, Derrick Henry. It's not bad.
Okay, so
That's a fair trade.
Lamar Jackson
Yeah, it is fair. Yes.
Lamar Jackson and Dotson for Josh Allen, or even Ayuk for Josh Allen, and then Derrick Henry and Deontay Johnson for Brandon Ayuk and Jonathan Taylor.
Okay,
Dotson
yeah.
and
I'll take
Taylor. I'll
JT,
take the
yeah.
JT
Yep,
side.
good job. Upon further review, we really like that one. And then a big one, you got Dak Prescott, he got Dalvin Cook, Evan Ingram, Deontay Johnson.
Yes.
So this was before he must have done this and then traded
and then
them.
he flipped.
The flip. Yeah.
Then he flipped Dalvin and Deontay.
Aaron
That was a
Rodgers,
really
Devontae.
good trading.
Dang.
Really good
You
trading.
made some really good moves, and that goes to show. And look, Kyle's on the other end of this trade. So if Kyle's watching, we took the other side. Kyle, sorry about that, but yeah, really good teams, man. All these teams, honestly, were really solid, and I love that you guys have submitted these. I know we're getting some comments. If you guys are interested in submitting your teams, wait like 3 days. We have a brand new thing for you to announce.
And wait 3 minutes because we're gonna hop over to Fantasy Domain and have another live stream there too.
Yes, we are. So if you are joining us and you want to jump over, make sure you're subscribed over at Fantasy Domain. We're going to be there at 9 o'clock, which is in about 18 minutes. So we're going to be doing that. But that concludes our team grading sequence of tonight. Again, if you want your team graded, stay tuned. Join us on our next live stream for a huge announcement for our little domain. It's not so little anymore. We really appreciate all you guys watching and joining us. You guys, we could not do it without you. Really appreciate the supporters that have gotten on this live stream and also have submitted their teams. You guys are the best.